everyone, so in this video I'm going to go through all of the things that I wish I knew before buying my home. So if you're in the market to buy a property or you're just curious about the process to buy a property, then this video is for you. And if you're new to this channel and you'd like to learn more about making money, saving money and investing, make sure you subscribe because I do 3 videos every single week about making money, saving money and investing. So the first thing I wish I knew before buying a home is that you don't have to be 100% ready to buy a home before you start looking at properties. And what I mean by not 100% ready is you don't need to have your 20% deposit down before you start looking at properties. And it might actually be even better to start looking at properties before you fully saved your deposit. So then you can start having a look around and seeing what you can actually afford with your budget. You can also start to visit some open homes just to have a look and see what the market is like. A really good tip that I learned was to create a spreadsheet of all of the properties that I was interested in and start putting in those key characteristics which were important to me, such as the asking price, the size by metre squared, and also the price per metre squared, and any other features that you'd like in your home, for example, bedrooms, bathrooms, car spots, and more. And this will make it so much easier to keep tabs on the properties that you're interested in. And it will also help you really easily compare all of the different properties. Once you do start looking for properties and start going to the open houses, it's also a really good idea to actually keep tabs on how much these properties that you're interested sold for. And this can give you an idea of how hot the market is. For example, if you're looking at an apartment and it sells for more than the asking price, then that means that you're probably in a seller's market. And that means that the properties are probably going to start selling for a higher price than the asking price. Whereas, for example, if you're looking at a property and you notice that it sells for lower than the asking price, then you know that you're probably in a buyer's market. And that means that the asking price, you probably have a little bit of room to negotiate a lower price for your property. So doing this a few times and really keeping tabs on the properties that you're interested in can really help you get a feel for the overall market and how much you should be offering a place that you'd like to buy. And if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure you give this video a like. It goes a long way to help supporting me and the channel, and I would really appreciate it. So please turn that like button blue and we can continue with the video. So the second thing that I wish I knew before buying a home is how to get a home loan. So getting a loan can be pretty tough. The banks have become a lot more strict about who they give home loans to. But I did have a bit of a strategy to effectively get a home loan from the bank, and I will share this with you. So the first one is to get a mortgage broker. The great thing about getting a mortgage broker is they actually won't end up costing you any extra money because they will get a commission from the bank, which doesn't actually come out of your mortgage. So by getting a mortgage broker, he was really able to help us with our application to get a home loan from the bank. And the second step is to cancel any credit cards that you're no longer using, and also reduce the limit of your existing credit cards. I didn't know this until I first started looking for a home, but the banks actually do look at the total credit limit of your credit cards, and they see that as a debt. Even if you're someone like me who pays off their credit cards every single month on time. So that's why it's really important to cancel any credit cards that you're no longer using and also reduce the limit of your credit cards. And the third step is to make sure that you're not making any extravagant purchases in the lead up to asking the bank for a home loan. And the reason why is the banks will actually go through all of your statements, so all of your credit card statements, all of your afterpay statements, and all of your everyday transaction accounts. So once you've done all of these steps, when you are speaking with a mortgage broker, basically the way that it works is you'll tell the mortgage broker how much the place that you're looking to buy costs. And you'll also let them know whether you'd like a fixed rate or a variable rate. And the mortgage broker will essentially do most of the work for you applying for the home loan. And they will be able to tell you if you've been pre-approved for the home loan or not. And I think that it is really good to have a pre-approved home loan before you start looking around for properties and making offers on properties. And the reason why is when you do have a pre-approval for a home loan, you're in a better position. So if you like a place and you make an offer on that place, and let's just say you make a very similar offer to another buyer in the market, but you don't have a pre-approved loan, they will probably end up going for the other offer because they do have a pre-approved loan, and there's a lot less chance of that offer falling through. So that's why it's really important to try and get a pre-approved loan before you start making offers on properties. So now let's get into the third thing that I wish I knew before buying a property, and that is to make a list of all of the things which are important to you. When you start looking for a property to buy, you'll quickly realize what's important to you and what's not so important to you. So that's where the spreadsheet from earlier really comes in handy. And in this spreadsheet, you can start to add extra columns for the things which are important to you. For example, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, when was the property built? How long does it take to get to the city or to the beach? And what is the asking price? All of these things were really important to me when I was buying my first home. So I think it's really important that you make a list of all of the things which are important to you in a property, so then you can easily compare the different options on the market. And this can help you really narrow down your search and not waste too much time looking at properties that aren't really going to be a good fit for you. But also do keep in mind that the property that you buy doesn't have to be perfect. For example, this place that we bought didn't have the best kitchen or the best bathroom, but we were able to renovate our kitchen, which enabled us to increase the value of the property and also build a kitchen that we actually really love. So keep that in mind when you are looking around for properties. You can always renovate your property in order to increase the price and really turn it into something that you love, so long as all of the base essential things that you want in a property are there. So the fourth thing that I wish I knew before buying my home is that it's really important to do your due diligence and really do research into the property that you're going to buy before you make a written offer for that property. By getting a property inspection done by a builder, this can really help you identify if there are any problems with the property that you're buying, especially structural problems which you may not know about and can be really expensive to fix. Builders can check all of the cracks in a building or a house and see if there are any structural problems with that property. And it's really important to get these checks done because you don't want to be in a position where there is structural damage to your property and you'll have to fork out a lot of money in order to fix it. And if it is an apartment, and specifically an apartment which is less than 10 years old, it's also very important to do your due diligence and really research the property developer. And be mindful because it can be really difficult to see structural problems in an apartment building when it is less than 10 years old, because the cracks do start to show after about 10 years. So a builder might not be able to see some of these flaws in the apartment building if it is less than 10 years old. So that's something to be mindful of. And this is one of the reasons why I ended up buying this place, which is in an old style building. So you can see that the walls are hard brick walls, and it is very unlikely that there are any structural issues that would happen with a property like this because the brick walls are very hard, and a lot of apartments that are built in the 80s and around then have been built quite well and have been built to last. So I would be a bit careful when looking into newer apartment buildings. It's also a really good idea to get a council check before you buy a property with a solicitor, and this can help you identify if there are any new developments going on that will affect your property. For example, have a look and see if there are any main roads being built next to your property, because that could also affect the property price. And finally, if you're buying an apartment, it is very important to do a strata check of the apartment building. And this can help you ensure that the building that you're buying has some pretty good finances and already has a bit of a safety net in case there needs to be any anything done to the building, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to the strata to get something fixed. So the final thing, which is the fifth thing that I wish I knew before buying a home, is a really important one in my opinion, and that is how to negotiate the price of a property. Now, this is something that I didn't think was that important when I initially started looking for a home, but I realized that it's actually probably one of the most important things when you are looking for a property to buy. Because if you're able to negotiate the price of your property really well, then you'll have a lower mortgage and you'll be able to pay off your mortgage a lot faster. And you'll also be able to increase the price of your property even more because you bought it at an undervalued price. So the thing that you need to know about negotiations is you'll likely be negotiating with the real estate agent, and this kind of puts you in a bit of an awkward position because you might be a first home buyer like I was, and you might be a little bit inexperienced when it does come to negotiations and the property market. I certainly felt like that when I was buying my first home. And real estate agents are really experienced at this. They are doing this day in and day out. So they know how to put the pressure on you and how to get you to up their price. So these are some things that I learned in the negotiating process to get a really good price on the home that I bought. So the first step is to start with a low offer, but not too low that it's offensive. The way that these negotiations typically work is you start with an offer, and then you and the real estate agent will try to get somewhere in the middle between your asking price and their asking price. And remember that when you do make your first offer, you can always go up from there, but you can never really go back down. So that's why it's important to start with a low offer. So the next step is to let them know that you have other options. And this is particularly effective if they do want to sell the place really quickly and it is a buyer's market. When we showed our interest in the place that we bought, we did let the real estate agent know that if this offer wasn't accepted, then we had a lot of other apartments that we were also interested in and we were likely to make an offer, which really wasn't a lie. So I think that it is important to let them know up front that you do have other options open and you're not afraid to go with those other options if the place that you want falls through. So we followed all of the above steps and we managed to get this place at a really good price. Such a good price, in fact, that we bought it last year in June 2019, and the price of the property has already increased by 20%, even though the property market hasn't been that great lately in the past year. And that's all because we were able to negotiate the price well and also do home renovations to increase the value of the property. So if you'd like to see another video about my home tour, then you can watch this video up here where I give you a full walkthrough of the home that we bought. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it useful, and let me know in the comments if you are in the property market currently and you're looking to buy a property. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you did enjoy this video and you found it useful, make sure you give this video a like. It goes a long way to supporting my channel and I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more videos, I've put some links to some videos here so you can check out some other videos. So click the links here so you can go to another video.